and awareness so that the society knows they are part and parcel of us. So we will have a number of speakers who will go in to give a speech. But before that, as usual, we will have Quran recitation by Abdullahi. Abdullahi is the son. If you see this brochure, I guess you have, all of you have this. There's this photo. Abdullahi. Okay, I was explaining the photo here on the brochure is the photo of Abdullahi. Why his photo is here is because all this gathering you see was the brain, the idea was of his mother, Najma. She will be here, she will going to share her story. So she shared her story with us. So that is why we have this gathering today. So Abdullahi has Down syndrome. So Abdullahi will also come here. He will going to read for us Quran. He will be assisted by Dr. Sheikh Mohammed Ado. He will assist him. So I want to officially kick off the program because we are already late. So I want to invite Dr. Sheikh Mohammed Ado and Abdullahi to come to the podium. Doctorka iyo Abdullahi Quran inoo akhrin doonaan. Abdullahi wuxuu ka mid yahay caruurta qabo Down syndrome oo haatan aan sameynayno wacyigelin sifaha waalidiinta ay u arkaan haddii aad caruurtaada ku dadaashid oo aad la tacaashid oo waxbarashada geyso in cunugaada ama gabadhaada Quraanka ay xifdin karto. Marka taas arno maanta dadka inay ogaadaan. I want to invite Abdullahi and Sheikh to come together, please. They will read for us the Quran. The other thing, the event is live on Facebook and on YouTube. So, what would you tafadhali sana? Give me the other mic.
Yes, sir.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وحبيبه ومصطفاه ومجتباه. وبعد مكان كان قيمها بدن أنا اسكون نمت أن نقول إلهي يقول وانينه وحن سمينا تهي عبادة إن يسنا في عن وحن سمينا إنه وعبادة تقربنا إلى الله وعبادة إلهي ندوينيسا والله كالمين ولا لهن ببيسن إن أن يد ساق الشنو أن أجر كهلنا في عن أي سنة نقول حفلة لسكيمت ولا ليالو أن يسنو إني وحن عباديهين إلهينا نقول وانا إنه سدو أجر نوغسيو تا قفل بمشى فديو إنه نيستافي عن إلهينا وانا أجر سينايا ما هن حفلة عادية معها ومد إلهي اللي يقول وانا إنت أنا دعين وحن ربا إن هالحديث هي آيات إذن كدوا الأغريو إنت أنا دعينين إخواني مركك هو إلهي أنا أجر سيو ولا لها ماشي أنا اسكون نمدنا إلهي هكافيو إلهي هكافيو قوات ديقتون وإلهي كافيي وحنان أباهنين إلهي هكذا وما ذلك على الله بعزيز. إن حلقي عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه خلافة السيد عمر بن الخطاب أصغه كان كمسلمين تهاي وحا أصغ لي نيل عمر بن طفيل بن عمر الدوسي ويل كيسي odagii dufayl ahaa waatuu ku geeriyooday dagaalkii yamaama wiilkiisii gacanta ka go'day camar gacanta dadka ka go'day dee waa dadka haddaan u fadhinoo kale oo gacantiisii ayuu waayey disability uu gacantii ka noqday xilligii cumar baa uu wiilkiyaa soo galay cumar oo fadhiya ayaa wiilkii soo galay cumar cuntaa loo keenay inaan warkan dhegaysanaa fiican cumar cuntaa loo keenay markii cuntada loo keenay wiilkii maadaamuu gacantii wax ku cunaya ay maqan tahay wiilkii waa xishooday cuntadii dadkii gacmaha la gelayeen ee wada cunayeen wiilkii waa ka xishooday cumar wuxuu gartay wiilkan inuu cuntada la cuni laayahay gacantiisa maqan markaasuu yidhi lacallaka ta'akharta waxaa laga yaabaa inaad dib u dhacday khajalan min yadika almaqtuuca gacantaadii go'oneed ayaa dib uga dhacday inaad cuntada cunto waad xishootay cumar wuxuu dhahay wallaahi aan cunto cunayn ilaa gacantan aad ku walaaqda meesha dadkan waa walaalahayn dhibkan ilaaha keenay annagii naga mid yihiin qisadan waxaan ka qaadanaynaa inaan dadka laga faani karin waa dad kula mid ah waa walaalahayn annagii naga mid yihiin waa dhiigaynii marka waa inaad kaalmaysaa cumar wuxuu dhahay ilaa gacantaada go'an meesha aad geliso ood ku walaaqdo maba cunayo dhahani qof annaga naga mid ah qaybna janno ay jirto qaybtiisa kalena adduunyada joogto ma jiro ilaa adiga maahane gacantaada kale waa kuu maqan tahay marka walaalayaalow dadka lagama faana waxbaa loo qabtaa haddaada waxba qaban karinna afkaada iyo dhibkaada laga cishtaa nabiga sala allahu calayhi wasalam suuraddii loo yaqaanaa cabasa ninka lagu canaanta waa indhala marka qisadaasna nin indhala oo indhalahayn baa nabiga sala alla alay wasalam lagula canaantay asagoo ahmiyad weyn u fadhiyo dacwo gudanaya marka koowaad waan u ducaynaynaa ilaahay ha barakeeyo ilaahay ha kaafiyo cibaado allah nooga dhiga fadhigan u fadhino marka waxaa liga codsaday inaan qur-aanka aniga ku fura walaalkeen oo asagana qur-aanka aqriya markaa أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا صدق الله العظيم
Hello, my name is Abdullahi. It's Sheikh Abdullahi Abdamid Ssaid. I can read today Al-Khariya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Khariya, Mal-Khariya, وما أدراك ما الخارية يوم يكون الناس في الفراش مبثوث وتكون الجبال كالإذن المنفوش فأمام ثقلات موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وما من كفات ومازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نارها مياه
walaalkeen suuratul qaaric uu noo aqriyey boqolkiiba 99.9 waa aqriyey waa noo aqriyey ilaahayna ayaa bayaanka iyo caddeynta dadka ku waxeeya waa mahadsan yahay boqolkiiba 99 waxaan ugu qaban waayey inuu dhammeeyo un baan rabay marka alqaarica malqaarica waa suurad qiyaamaha ka hadlaysa oo aad iyo aad u weyn oo qofkii camalkiisii cuslaada iyo miisaankiisii xasanaadkiisana nolol fiican ku noolaanayo qofkii kalena oo miisaankiisa fududaadana dee walaalkeen fa ummuhu haawiya meeshaas gelaya naartaas gelaya marka maadaama noo aqriyey boqolkiiba 99 saxay marka بارك الله فيه جزاه الله خير الجزاء وأحسن الله إليه dadka kalena Allah barakeeyay
Mashallah. Mashallah. Let's clap for Abdullahi. Mashallah. That is indeed a very good encouragement to all the parents that you need to invest in your children. You should not give up. You should always teach them Quran. Mashallah. Thank you very much. I can see a number of dignitaries have arrived. I want to recognize the CEO of National Council for Persons with Disability, Brother Harun Ma'alin Hassan. He's on a wheelchair. Harun, you can wave, please. Thank you very much. We also have the former Deputy Governor of Isiolo, former immediate CEO of FCDC, our brother Mohammed Simba Gulet is also around. He is also a parent. He will share his story with us. We also have the presence of the Member of Parliament for Garissa Township, Honorable Major Dego. Indeed, Major Dego stood with us when we started this program until the end. I know he is just from Garissa. He had some events, but he has, as I said before, this event is meant to raise an awareness for our children who have special needs. Like autism, Down syndrome, all of them. Today we are raising an awareness. Initially, people used to hide, but now we are having that conversation. So it has started and it will continue here in our homes, in our mosques, in the market, and everywhere the conversation will continue. So for us to set the program straight, I want to invite the newest doctor in town, who is also our chairman, Dr. Mohammed Abdinur Dayo, to do an opening remarks for us and also set the agenda of the meeting so that the rest of the speakers can follow. Mwalimu, karibu sana.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salaanta waa in kor loo qaada oo liis jeclaysi oo liis dhaafsada somaho aad iyo aad u maasantiin. Our friends, my brother and friend Major Deko, who is the Member of Parliament for Garissa Central, my brother and friend, former, or I say Deputy Governor Emeritus, the former CEO of FCDC, and now the coordinator of the North and Eastern Development Initiative called NEDI, my brother Simba Gulet. I really don't know how to address Harun. Harun Ma'alim Hassan is the CEO of the National Council for Population, National Council for NCWPD. He is one of my very favorite students, because I taught him in Mandera Secondary School. And he is a very good friend of mine. So do Adi Ado Masanta Harun for getting time and for supporting this initiative. Our scholar Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Khair, my friend, brother, there is something else that I will not say to the public. Professor Muhammad Umar is also here. I see Ambassador Badon Tasema Auntie Ruqia Subo is also here. Our scholar, Imam Dr. Adam Sheikh Ali, who is the Deputy Imam of 6th Street Mosque, is also here. A number of other people are also here. So Dawada, Allah idam barakeya. We thank you for having found time to come. This is something that is so important to us as a people, but I must appreciate that a journey of 1,000 miles, they say, starts with a single step. Today, the man of the moment is Abdullahi, the young man whom you saw here, and his mother, Najma. Please, wherever you are, raise up your hand. Our Najma. Najma, wallahi, is not any other ordinary mother. It's not any other extraordinary mother. If there was a way to express her, actually I would like the adjectives. Najma was the brainchild of this event. When she shared with us her story, we all got inspired. And we will want to share that story with our people. We will want to share her story with Kenyans. We will want to share her story with ourselves. So Najma, aad iyo aad u mahadsan tahay adiga iyo caruurtaadaba Allah barakay, Allah ku barakay. Qofkii jid khair furo waxaan iskugu nimaanay meeshan haddaan u mudnahay dhibaato weyn aan haysato. Canuga wuxuu ahaadaba Ilaahay baana siiyey inaan ciyaalka aan dadaalkooda u dadaalna waxay ahaadaanba waa faral Ilaahayna saaray. Gabadhaan walaasheeda sida ilmaheeda kale ugu dadaashay ayay canugaasna ugu dadaashay weliba dadaal laab ay siisay. 5 sano ku dhawaad ayay shaqadeeda idaal istaajisay ay tiraahday cunugaydu waa inuu Quraan barto inuu baran oo akhrin karana maanta ayada noo cadaysay. Ladies and gentlemen, first I want to welcome you all and thank you for found time to come with us. The man of the moment is the young man whom you saw here today. Abdullahi and his mother are the reason behind why we are all here. When Najma shared her story,
alayhi salam, ila danteeda ugu dhameeyana wuu la taagnay sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Qodobka labaad.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Ali Bashir, the Secretary General and co-founder of Ssaid that you see on this banner behind me. I want to take this opportunity not to give a speech, but to introduce Safe Surgical Aid and what it does. Safe Surgical Aid is an NGO dedicated to providing medical services to underserved communities. Most of the things we do, other than organizing for interactive sessions, we do outreaches. We travel where usually you don't get surgical services. That is where the name Safe Surgical comes from. We have been to the remotest places in the most marginalized communities to do complex surgeries. We are basically a moving theater with the surgeons, equipments, consumables. Whenever we go to a facility, we don't ask the county governments to provide even a Panadol. We have volunteers, we have organizations that support our programs free of charge. We don't charge our patients. We have been in existence for about 3 years. In the 3 years we have been in existence, we have done over 7,000 surgeries, from Masalani to Kilifi, to Mandera, to Ramo, to Griftu, to Habaswein, to Garissa, Wajir, and hopefully in the coming years we will expand to Samburu, Turkana, and other underserved areas. We organized this event as one of many, and hopefully, inshallah, we're going to cascade it down together with the surgical services to the counties and the sub-counties. So I don't want to take much time. Like has been said, we have enough experts in this room. There are some people who have not been recognized. We have Dr. Ssaid, who is from Kenya Institute of Special Education, who is in the hall. These are the people we want to hear from today, not from me. So I will hand over the mic as you have instructed. I think I have used less than 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Ali Bashir. In fact, he has used less than 3 minutes. So I request the rest of the speakers to do the same. So next, I want to invite a very important partner to this event. They are called Boyne Healthcare. I think their banner is somewhere here. They are here. So we have a sister from that organization. She's called Fatma, who is the center manager. She also has really helped us in terms of sourcing for the experts who are going to have the panel discussion later. She will also be moderating the panel of discussion later. So as an opening remarks, I'll also give her 3 minutes, and then we proceed to the next speaker. Fatma, please, 3 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all our esteemed guests. My name is Fatma Mohammed, and I'm the Center Manager for Boyne Healthcare. Today, we as Boyne Healthcare are glad to be at this event. I am here to share our fundamental belief that we hold dear, the idea that is inherent in every child, regardless of their disability. Regardless of any disability they may have at birth, a raw strength and untouched potential. These are the ethos that Boyne Healthcare abides by in our commitment to seeing every child thrive, achieve, and optimize their potential. We join hands today about the children with developmental disabilities. Their tireless efforts to organize this forum testifies to the dedication of the cause, reflecting on their ethos and alignment with ours. This alignment amplifies our rich, doubling efforts in shedding light in the inherent potential growth of each and every child. As we embark on this journey with an ambitious goal sparkled by the recognition of scarcity of comprehensive services for these children with developmental disabilities, both in Kenya and the whole region at large. Our journey has led us to the birth of Boyne Healthcare, an establishment that has state-of-the-art therapy services. Boyne Healthcare has a multidisciplinary team that comes together to provide services for all our children and ensure that they maximize their potential. With a team of passionately dedicated speech and language therapists occupational therapists, and the rest of the expertise, we are capable of making tangible differences in the lives of these children and their families. We advocate for the right to provide quality services and raise awareness about their abilities and potential. But to truly make a difference, we cannot stop there. We introduced the concept of early intervention. Early diagnosis, early assessment, and significant transformation in the life trajectory of a child with disability and solidify the development gains. So, with that, we will be here to offer one-on-one consultations to all stakeholders, parents who have questions, or any person who would like to have a private session outside at the tent. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fatima. Today I'll be very, very strict, so you will bear with me because of time. As I said before, we will have a panel discussion. So experts will be discussing the topics that we intend to cover today. So please stick to 3 minutes. I now want to invite, there's a center called Outreach in South Sea. So if the representative is ready, Outreach, please come. Please take 3 minutes. If you take less, I'll appreciate also. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the Safe Surgical organization that has organized for this event. Our center, Special Needs Outreach, we are located in South Sea, just near Oluvumi Road. We exist to serve children who have different disabilities. We began in the year 2002. It was begun by parents, especially the mothers of children with special needs, who have gone round and round looking for places where they can get service for their children. These mothers have done an amazing job. Could we appreciate them, please? Thank you. They have come together to raise funds and to raise resources to be able to build a center together so that their children can find a place where they can be able to benefit from their services. Our center focuses mainly on 4 objectives, and number 1 is to create an environment where children with special needs can have meaningful engagement and benefit and have a fulfilling life. The other thing is that we also seek to establish a center where children can explore their potential and derive most of their development and their skill. The other thing that we really look forward to is to cause an inclusive society. As the SSD has said, that most of the communities we isolate children. We are looking forward to partner with other partners like this one to create a society where it is all inclusive for all children of different disabilities. Allow me to say, most of the disabilities that are physical, if you have someone going on a wheelchair or someone going with a crutches, it is easy to see. But there are silent disabilities like autism, ADHD. When you look at the child, he is normal per se. And many people do not understand. So we seek forward to be able to create room where we can be able to work together and cause the society to be united. As the other partners are, we also will be here to consult one-on-one with the parents, with any other person who requires. I want to note that since our opening, we have seen over 100 children benefit from assessment, referrals, and therapy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for making your statement brief. So we have a number of speakers, but as I said, it will be brief. So it will be, you will stick to that. I want to invite our brother Salim Omar, who is chairman of Muslim Lawyers Association, to also say a few words, because we also need lawyers Wacha aseme mawili matatu. Very brief, Salim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mahmoud Salim Omar. I know it is very abnormal and also illegal to confine a lawyer to time limit when it comes to speaking. But I will, because this is not my field, I'll be very brief, like a cock. Anyway, first of all, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us here together for this very noble initiative, and we should not underrate its sanctity at this stage. So this is the first step for us to create awareness and dispel any form of myths and misconceptions that is very broad in our community. And by doing that, we will ensure that we will foster inclusivity of these young children of ours who were born with development disabilities by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the first stage, we have to have this level of acceptance that this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the fate of this child together with his parents and by extension the entire community. So the moment we have this kind of acceptance, then it means that we will dispel, we will extinguish any form of misconception that is very wide in our communities. I want to give an unequivocal support and guarantee that as Muslim lawyers, we have very many of us, more than 200, and very active, especially young lawyers. And I want to guarantee our full support to this kind of initiative, especially when we do not confine ourselves to this kind of awareness within this specific room. We want to go to Mashinani, we want to go to Garissa County, we want to go to Wajir, Mandera, Marsabit, Turkana, and all over. In that instance, I will make sure I will mobilize all lawyers, especially there are many of them here in this room, but I will make sure we mobilize them in terms of their physical attendance and financial contribution. I want to also register my disappointment with this team today because they never involve us in the preparation. Otherwise, we could have supported them with all our resources. But from next time, inshallah, we will be with you and we are with you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant ease to everyone who is undergoing this kind of challenge, because this is amtihan from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The moment we understand, look at the people of Gaza. They are going through a lot, but they have this level of tawakkul and acceptance that this is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it is their fate. The only thing is to accept and accommodate the situation and deal with it with patience. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us sabr. Shukran.
Thank you very much, Wakili. Because of time, I want to again invite Mr. Mohammed Abdi Dayo, who is head of school health, Nairobi City County. He requested for 2 minutes peke yake. So please, 2 minutes please, because we have a number of speakers lined up.
شكرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, Bismillah. My name is Mohammed Abdi. I work for Nairobi City County. I coordinate school health program for Nairobi County, including children with special need. I am glad to be here today, just to share my experience for 2-3 minutes. I came here because I was not invited. I was invited through Jamia Mosque yesterday, khutbah. So today I had another activity in Mudurwa Primary School where we had a medical camp with INM. So my roles and responsibility for the county is that to take care of all children, whether they are in private, public, and policy making. So this is an opportunity for me to serve my community. And I'm very much passionate about children with disability. I was hearing Dr. Ssaid is here. Our role for Nairobi City County, my department, is to take care of these children. So in case you have like a difficult in sanitation, Registration, come to me, I will help you out. Don't worry about that. Anything about registration, support, plus even to support you some other partners, kindly let us talk together. The other issue is policy. We are also developing some policy in Nairobi, cascading children with special needs. And my brother Harun is here in terms of policy. In the Ministry of Health, even in Nairobi City County, we have our bylaws that supporting children with disability and special needs. I have been passionate, just helping them to do the assessment, placement in schools. Since our roles and responsibility, but I felt that I submit myself and give my little experience today with my community, so that how can we help our children? Najma, I have just seen you right now. Thank you very much, and you'll be example to the rest of our community. If you go to Slee, if you go to Karen, if you go to Hurlingham, you will find all our community have not been sensitized, and they are locking their kids in the rooms. So we want to bring them out. There's a lot of opportunity for also policy. Let us make use of our government initiative and also support our kids. Thank you very much, Ssaid, and I'm glad I will be working with you, inshallah. You are most welcome in Nairobi. Anything that for the registration again, any challenge you are facing, we are ready to support you. And I'm going to share this event with our governor, and thank you very much. God bless you all.
MashaAllah, thank you very much. We appreciate your presence also. Again, because of time, I want to invite Manor, if they are around. Manor School, Manor School. Manor School, please. Again, I want to remind you that we should not leave, because we have a very important session coming up of panel discussion whereby experts will be coming to the high table. Please take 2 minutes.
Thank you. All protocols observed. Good morning. My name is Edwin Mwakiria, and just to make a correction, it's Kestrel Manor School. I am a special needs teacher. I've worked with children with disabilities for the last 7 years. And today, I'm here representing Kestrel Manor School because we are quite excited when we see such programs to create awareness. Kestrel Manor School, it's an inclusive school located at Westlands along Ring Road or next to Frusato Japanese restaurant. We take pride in supporting all children with developmental disabilities like autism, Down syndrome, learning difficulties like dyslexia, and we have put together different programs like therapies, occupational therapy, speech and language therapy, vocational training programs for our young adults, and children with special needs. We don't exclude them. When it comes to learning, they learn in same classes with their regular peers, because through this, they are able to improve their social skills, they're able to improve their expressive language, and we have seen great progress, great improvement from this model of integrating our children with different or additional needs to learn in the mainstream classes. So we welcome you. I'll be around. If you want to learn more about our programs, we are here to support you, to advise you, and ensure that your child has a successful education journey and they're able to transition and be independent in this life. I appreciate all of you, and may God continue blessing you as we continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward. Again, I want to remind the parents, the moment we finish the program, after the panel discussion, we will have an announcement and we will have a declaration, but the event will not end. So the experts will be around until around 3 to 4 p.m. So please, before you go, make use of the experts that are around, the one from Boeing, the one from the school. So please, parents, make use of them. I now want to invite Dr. Ssaid. Please, 3 minutes maximum because of time. And then we'll shortly going to hear the story of Najma. So let's be prepared to hear the inspiring story of Najma shortly. But before that, Dr. Ssaid, karibu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our esteemed guests, parents, it's a great honor and pleasure to be part of this ceremony. Those of us in the academic field, when you tell me 2 minutes or 3 minutes, that is just enough for introduction. At-tahiyya wa ta'arruf faqat, nothing else. But since the event has delayed and due to lack of time, I will just talk about 3 things. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, what I do. Number 3, who I'm representing. As it was said, I'm a director at the Kenya Institute of Special Education. And what is KISE? KISE is a semi-autonomous government body that was formed through a legal notice of 1984. Most of us here don't know about KISE. Myself, I got to know about it when I was appointed to be a director. So there are many people around here who don't know about KISE, what we do, the services they offer, and all that. So KISE is the only government body that offers training, assessment, and therapy for children with special needs. And the kind of assessment they do, actually, it is only 500 shillings to do an assessment at KISE. It is situated in Kasarani, and I really wish that you can visit the place. It has world-class facilities, trust me. The other day, our president was there to do an official opening, and the facilities there are unmatched. You cannot see the facilities even in private institutions. So kindly take your time, visit the place, see the facilities. It's only 500 shillings to do an assessment. And they also offer therapy for kids with special needs. What are the therapies we offer? There's hydrotherapy, there's physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and nutritional advice. And they also do trainings. It's the only institute in Kenya where you do a diploma and a certificate training for special needs. The kind of trainings they do include education for learners with autism, for learners with deaf-blind, for learners with physical disabilities, learners with emotional and behavioral difficulties, learners with visual impairment, mental handicap, hearing impairment, inclusive education, education of learners with learning difficulties, and also sign language. So something that I really would like to talk about is just like 2 months ago, we had a graduation ceremony at KISE, and I was very disappointed that out of 867 graduates, only 5 were Muslims. Leave alone Somalia and all that, with Muslim names, they were only 5. So that is less than 1%. If we can kindly take up these opportunities to do the trainings, to do these teaching programs, it will be very beneficial for us in the Muslim society. And lastly, I would like to talk about our role as parents, as sisters, as mothers, of how can we help people who are caregivers of children with disabilities. So I think there are 3 ways we can help them: financially, emotionally, and physically. Because these people go through a lot. They need our support. It's not just money and having institutions. Sometimes they are very much tired. They need to rest. You can give them emotional support. You can give them physical support. So inshallah, bi'idhnillah, I'm hoping we are going to be there for this initiative. KISE is very much willing to support and be a part of this initiative. And I'm also a director at the Muslim Education Council. We are very much going to be there, and throughout this process, we are going to support this initiative. It is a very noble cause, and I would like to congratulate Najma and all those behind this initiative. Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, you will get your rewards in Jannah.
MashaAllah. Thank you very much, Dr. Saida. We appreciate your presence and also your contribution. So again, because of time, now I want to invite Najma. You have been hearing about Najma. So who is this Najma? Najma is the person, the lady who brought all of us together. She's brain behind Don't Hide Me. So she's going to tell us her story and also how this event came about. So she's an advocate for special needs children, CEO and founder of Don't Hide Me. So Najma, please, let's clap for Najma, please. She has an interesting story to share. So I will give her 10 minutes. I know it is very short for her, but I will request she summarizes her story to 10 minutes, since it is the start of our event. In our subsequent event that we'll take to the counties, she will be sharing her stories with the people. So Najma, please. Najma, please come. Let's clap for Najma, please. She's the mother of Abdullahi, by the way. Abdullahi, who read for us Quran, she's the mother. So please, let's again clap for Najma. Najma, please, welcome.
جزاك الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I can't. No. واجفتين ولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. غير نور بمحني قلدا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Much better. ما يعيق نجمع اسمان الله أم عبد الله his mother. Abdullahi is 17 years old who has a Down syndrome. I'm a parent. Also, I've specialized with children with a special need. I'm also the CEO founder of Don't Hide Me, Let's Make a Noise team in UK. And I do a lot of stuff. If I say today I'm going to talk, I think all of you are going to go to sleep or you're going to be hyper like our children. Our children are such heroes. Our moms are such heroes. Our fathers are such heroes. Only some of them. This is Abdullahi's life. Let's look at it. Sorry, guys. I would like to say thank you very much for those people who made my dream come true. Ssaid. Give a big round of applause. And everybody, wallahi, billahi, talahi, this project was not easy. Like as a teamwork, we put it and made it easy for everybody. As you guys know, we hide our children. And there's no reason to hide them. Ilahi shantas farad hal makadigin. Somaha, arurtena saswai, anagadan sasanahay. So we have to make sure we treat everybody equal. So this is Abdullahi's life again. Ray, when you're ready. We intend to hide our kids. All right. We intend to hide our children because of the stigma we have from the community, from the families. Especially the husband. Sometimes he runs off if you have a child with a disability. That's not nice. Ilmahena or disabled we didn't create them. Ilaha nisiye, ilaha noogu nimceeye, and we have to accept the way they are. And then we have to accept it the way they are. So why ukharinena ilahay mabakharinine? Ilahay reason okusiye. Manta dada malayin divoyo. There are a lot of people who are paying millions to get children. Like you have one beautiful child and you're not treating as same as the other kids. You might see a family of 4 and they will tell you, I've only got 3 children, and they're hiding the 4th one. For what reason? Because he's disabled. People will talk behind your back. But believe me, from now on today, I want every child to be out. Be proud. You have to be proud of your child. So please and please stop hiding. Ilahi nim'u kusiwa yawm al-akhir wa lagu weydina what you done to this child. So qolka hada ku xirtid and you take one child out, that's not the case. We see a lot of family problems. we face a lot of family problems. Mother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, whatever coming that side, because we have a child with a special need. They force our husbands to marry another woman where he can't even take care of the household that he is in at the moment. Sorry guys, I'm getting pressed up. Arurtan also, dugsiyada waa laga soo diidaa, madrasa. You take them to madrasa and they will say to you, oh, we cannot take this child. This child looks crazy. This child is not crazy, you just need to understand the child. But they're not going to say to you, we're not specialized. If they say to you, we're not specialized, as a parent, you will help them. And make sure from today on, if a sheikh or ma'alin says to you, I cannot handle your children, please just explain to them. Every person is not the same. We have to teach our community how our kids behave, how we deal with our children. Then I will ask all the scholars, please and please give us a chance. We faced a lot of bad stuff, good stuff. Like, we have to be at the same time strong enough to force ourselves to do good stuff for our kids. You go to the mosque, there's no facilities for people with disability. With a wheelchair access, there's no access. Okay, Biri Kamalin, yeah, you can be a disabled, you can be a wheelchair. What would you supposed to do? You're building beautiful houses. There's no access for kids with disability. There's not even a playground for these kids with a disability. So what we need to do is we need to think about others as well. Don't be selfish. We need to think about others. It can happen to you. It can happen to your family. It can happen to your neighbor. So we need to think always these kids exist. Maanta way yar yihiin, tomorrow way so weynaanayaan. What is the plan? What is the future holds for them? Where is the schools? Where are the madrasas? Ladies and gentlemen, you all guys are sleeping. Wallahi la'adim, you are sleeping when it comes to terms of disability. We need your support to be there for us. We do a lot of things for the community. Like it's just us who going around. We keep going to office. We're getting rejected. One of the things they will say to you is, we don't understand what you're talking about. For God's sake, give me a chance for me to explain to you. Then you will understand what I'm talking about. I have seen a lot of people who say to me, I don't understand what you're talking about, but I never give up. Today I'm standing here for a lot of behalf of a lot of parents who cannot speak for themselves. Next time I want to see all these parents to come over here and speak for themselves. Be proud you have seen Abdullahi today. What was wrong with that? Abdullahi, I put a time on him. I left my job, my career, because to raise of this child. What have I done with this child? How I treated with this child? So why can't we all not do that? We'll see a mother who's a business lady, but she has a disabled child. She's neglecting it at home. Why? If you start doing action from yourself and you accept it, I am sure you can come out. There's a lot of schools today. There's a lot of specialists who are here to help and support you. They told me Kenya doesn't have nothing. Najma, go look around. These people are in UK, Makakenin. I'm from UK, but these people, they're not from UK. They're from Kenya. You have all the access and resources. But when you're at home and just thinking of nothing or thinking of your life, you'll be stressed. Mothers, please wake up. You need to go outside and, look after yourself. Go to the spa. Ask someone else to help you out with the child. But if you're just stuck with this child, there's a lot of depression and there's a lot of problems that's going on in every family home. So please, I hope all the community looks after us. From today on, this voice will be raised. Are we ready to look after each other? Yes or no? At least I want to hear something, please. Jazakallah khairkum. Raina, are you ready? I would have showed you a bit of Abdullahi's life. Like we have a technical problem. You ready? Yeah? A special thanks to everybody who joined us today. My brother over here. We could not done without him. Your name?
Abdul Wahab.
Abdul Wahab. Allahumma barak. There are some people who will not understand, who need a sign language. We are proud of them. Everybody is equal in this room. We are no difference. To be honest with you, we are no difference. Ilahay halo naga dige halkaas aan ahaano. Let's be honest together. Yeah, ana amir ah. I'm rich. Yeah, ana ka fiican ma jirto. Kulligeena hal god aan wada galeena. وقت بدن, to be honest with you, ayaan geliya Abdullahi. He's a 17-year-old. He's my oldest child. As you can see, waxaa lagu dhahaa Quraan ma baran karo. Wuu baran karaa. Every child wax wuu baran karaa. Waxaa la rabaa ina adiga waqti gelisid. You need to put on time to this child. If you don't give him enough time to the child will not improve. So every time you need to set up yourself a target. Abdullah had a lot of phobia. The child that you've seen here today, few years ago, he would not sit here, even enter from this room. But then I set it up myself a lot of goals, saying that he can do it. Don't give up, he can do it. He can be part of the society. He can be wherever I go with me. People think that I've only have Abdullahi. Actually, I have 5 children. Allahumma barak. Ladies and gentlemen, please and please, let's help and support each other. Today, there is many ways that you can support your child. Do not give up. Let's go hands and hands. Do not give up. Caruurteena lack of nutrition ee qabaan. Please, caawiya. Ilaahay hani caawiya. As a parent, we know every child's need. So we need to help them and support them. Okay, this is Abdullah's life.
Today's topic is Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a genetic disorder and the most common autosomal chromosome abnormality in humans, where extra genetic material from chromosome 21 is transferred to a newly formed embryo. These extra genes and DNA cause changes in development of the embryo and fetus, resulting in physical and mental abnormalities. Each patient is unique, and there can be great variability in the severity of symptoms.
Abdullahi waxa uu ka soo daahay socodka, waxa ka soo daahay gurgurashada iyo hadalka. Abdullahi also wuxuu ahaan jiray ilmaha cuntada aad fasi ugu ah oo yani wuxuu asiga jeclaada ahaan jiray ilmaha caqabadaha aan la kulmay Abdullahi waxa ka mid ah ma jeclo liftiga.
Carry your story, my dear. Carry your story.
meelo qaarkood markay ku cusub yihiin wuu ka baqaa. Marka waqti badan ayaan geliyay aan ku baro inuu meelo qaarkood markay noqdo waxyaabo baqaa. Marka waqti badan ayaan geliyay aan ku baro inuu meelo qaarkood markay noqdo waxyaabo.
Nagara we have a little bit of technical problems. Inshallah ta'ala, those videos will be playing soon. You will see the difference when he was born and at the moment. So please and please, waxa idin ka codsana waqti geliya caruurihiina. Qaf maanta waqti ku gelinaysa malaha. Work with the teachers. Macallimiinta la shaqeeya. School to school caruurtiina geenaysana is not going to help you guys stick to one school because ciyaalkeena ayaga dhan waa empty computer. So we have to put a lot of programs on their head. Anaga wax kasta ku program gareyno waay. So school kan hadaa ka guuro kan u guuro faa'iido uu leeyahay male. Inshallah ta'ala aad iyo aad ayaa mahadsantiin maanta ana soo booqateen ka soo qayb gashan eventing aan quruxda badan. Thank you very much for the day.
Thank you very much, Sister Najma. I know she could say a lot, but because I know she's very emotional when she's sharing the story of Abdullah, so that's why I think she could not continue with her speech. But we really appreciate Najma for advocacy and passion for children with special needs. So now, time is indeed moving. So we have a panel of discussion that is coming up. But before that, we have three speakers who are very important for us. They have indeed taken their time to come and attend this important meeting. So I want now to invite our brother, Harun Ma'alin Hassan, the CEO of National Council for Persons with Disability. Harun Ma'alin Hassan, EBS. Lazima niongeze hiyo, eh? Very important. Elder of Barney Spear is our brother and friend. So he will speak from his wheelchair. So Harun, I know you have a lot of stories to tell us, but my brother, be brief also. Eh? Thank you.
How many minutes? 5 minutes? 5. Yeah, all protocol observed, but I must in 1 minute recognize some people who are in this house. Mheshimiwa Major Dego, I have to say your hotel is the most accessible one in Garissa. And it's the one that most of us with disabilities always frequent. My brother Simba Gulet, we have been in trenches of disability advocacy together for a while. And I must also recognize in a special way my teacher, Mohammed Abdenur, Dr. Mohammed Abdenur. Malimo Major Dego was asking me, who is old between you and your teacher? When he was fresh from college and he was not even married and we were Form 3, he taught us chemistry. And to date, he remained one of our best friends and former teachers. And the other day when he graduated from university, and gladly, I sit in the university council member of his university. So when I saw the list, I told the VC and other council members, this is my teacher. I'm proud that my teacher is graduating with a PhD here. I also want to recognize in a special way another museum here called Adam CDA. Maybe you can wave. I didn't know that he's here. This museum is a community activist right from 70s to even most recently with the government. But why I've also mentioned him, he's my relative, and he is the one who witnessed my accident. So when I was involved in road accident in 2007, it is him and his wife and some other relatives around Ramu who picked me with a pickup to Mandera Hospital. Confirm that. So he witnessed my journey into being a short man I am today. I think Najma and her friends, SS8, Al-Bash and his group, thanks for organizing this wonderful event. This is quite amazing. It brings out a conversation that as a community we have never discussed before. You know, marka Somalia de jirta nin nolow naafa filo, aday kugu dhacin, ama qofkaad garanays ku dhacin, ama diriskaad ku dhacin, macneed ma fahmi kartid. You will never understand. And personally, I never used to understand what disability is all about. And you can see in this congregation, I'm the shortest man, actually. Is there anybody who's shorter than me? And I used to be as tall as most of you here. So when I used to be on the other side, I never used to understand what disability is all about. And I never cared to understand what it should be, or because I never thought in my wildest dream it will come to me or to my family members, to my relatives. And then I ended up there, and every day I face stigma. And sometimes, like that hashtag says, don't hide me. Hata mimi nijificha. The wheelchair gan wan qari mar. For 3 years I hide this wheelchair. I couldn't imagine what life could be on a wheelchair and someone with disability in a faster evolving society that is really moving very fast. Lakin maantadan joogno, wheelchair gan waxaan ka dhigi rabnaa fashion. Fashion aan ka dhigi rabnaa. That disability is not about people's impairment. Naafnimada maaha is about people's impairment. It's about the barriers across people with different impairment. Barriers come in different form. For those who have my kind of disability, our biggest barrier is how we build our environment. That's why I mentioned Lantern Hotel. You know, meeli dadka aadi jireen ma aadi kartid. There's no ramp. Masaajidayaasha dumarka korway, niminku waa hoos. You know, what of a woman who is using a wheelchair or who has a child? What does she do? You know, there's some, and then those who have communication problem, Like deaf, I'm very glad we have a sign language interpreter here. They contend with barriers because of communication. Those who are blind. Like in all forms of disability, we contend with one big barrier, which is a terrible one. The attitude. Attitudinal barrier. Nin jisa dadarak, nin dawola dadarak, nin blind dadarak, fikradad wa bedel the attitudinal barrier. Mark, in a more specific way, the parents of children with disability, I salute you wherever you are. The mothers, some fathers who have done amazing work, create such initiative. I know all of Ranarki. And then if you follow deeply, genetically, like Mamada Ambari. I also saw amazing fathers who put the interests of their kids with special need ahead than even other kids. I've seen. Every day I do interact with them. So we salute you wherever you are. The word patience is sabr. قفك فهمك وقفك أرجع بس أوصو هروا أدونك. And those are the parents and those are people who live with disability. Because the only thing now you have in life is what is called patience. Be patient. مركن حالتنا نقبلها وعنز ده. إلهي يفهم سي. وحن كرايو. وحن كرين. وحن كران كرتي إيو فهم إيو جهدي بسي. وحن كريننا وقعنت هتكجر صبر بسي. Don't bother me with it. هاد مسكلي أنا دانك I will not wake myself up to this chair. Somebody will help me, isn't it? It doesn't bother me. But because I can think, I can write, and I can influence decisions of the community in a way, that's why I need to do it. Because I can do that, isn't it? So we have many challenges with disabilities, but the attitude of the community toward how we interpret really matters. So the people who initiated this conversation, please, we are part of this journey. And we'll walk with you this journey. But I want to say one thing. Next month, inshallah, January, we will be releasing a report on autism and related developmental disorder in this country. And what is in that report is quite strange. And we have sampled different cultures, different faith, different communities, also by gender. That report we're going to bring out what it is. That key autism and other related developmental disorder, their lifestyle is very expensive. They're always on therapy. They're always on drugs. Parents get depressed, and depression leads to other forms of complication like bipolar. Life becomes circles, viscous circle of problems and problems. Within that report now there's a recommendation. And one thing as a government, for example, we are doing, and I have to speak this as a government, that this current administration came up with what is called universal health coverage. And for persons with disability, it is 100%. And if you're aware right now, there are community mobilizers going around per every 100 household. And we have introduced an indicator on disability. So when they were going to analyze, we will know in how many households are persons with disability. And right now we are at a very advanced stage with NHIF so that we can give an enhanced cover for kids who are autistic and other related developmental disorder. And because NHIF is undergoing transformation and it is becoming social health insurance fund, we are part of the transformative agenda because of disability and more specifically for autism and other related developmental disorder. I'm very glad to say that my time in the council, the best of the assignment that I sat in, that we have been had, is that one. But until we're going to see, we will still count off, cross our fingers and see to it. So marka raja wa inaan laano way ama wax haysal ama raja haysal le somino marka waxan waan haysana rajana waa inaan ku tarsano way. Mark with all those many remarks, I don't know whether it is past my 5 minutes. I want to say only one thing. Just one thing. Some of us in social media, wadaragteen yarko Jafar la oo heesa aad u buran. There's one song, I know that song, whoever wrote it, it meant for love. But if you interpret that song very deeply, waxay ku hadlaysaa masalada qofka jiiska, especially those with autistic and related developmental disorder. And that line has a deeper meaning. Something that was you say, dugsigin waan diidi, diintin baranan waan toori. What it means, if you interpret, because unugan waxaa laga dhadhacaaday doqonate. Dugsigina markuu leeyahay waa calaamad. Durmian adi, and will I let, wild dogs to ravage me? Or the man is kurida, if you interpret. And that is the thinking of every child with the developmental disorders, literally. Even though it is a song of a love, but if you interpret it in that context, education is the fighting chance for a child with disability. Maanta dan anug jiisa dan iskuulka gain qualificationkiis waxay noqoni naafnimadiis wadadu ku fariisanay kuwanbo ku coorasanay oo ku toogayaan. It's not a godly sight, but hadaad fursad siisid and ood ku sabartid dictor noqonay xildhibaan noqonay director noqonay, and his disability will be hidden. So we have to team up to make sure that education is also accessible for our children with disabilities. Najma and the team, congratulations and keep up with the great work we are doing, and may God help you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Harun, Ma'al Hassan. Next, I want to invite our brother, former Deputy Governor of Isiolo, former CEO of FCDC, and now NEDI Coordinator, Mohamed Simba Gulet, to come also give his remarks. Karibu.
Thank you, Abdinur. Assalamu alaikum. Mjambo. Asante sana. My brother, Mheshimiwa Deko, Major Deko, Professor Umar, our new doctor, Abdinur Dayo, congratulations for your graduation as PhD. And also I want to congratulate our sister Najma for the amazing and wonderful job that she did of bringing us here together. And of course, I want to thank the organizers of this event and all the other dignitaries who are here, Ambassador Subo, who is also with us, and many of my friends whom I can see. I also don't want to take a lot of time. First of all, when I was invited to this event, I came, first of all, because I was invited by my friends Ali Bash, Mohammed Dakane, and even Harun, who informed me about it some 2 weeks ago. But I also came because I am also a father of a child who is autistic. So I am also transitioning into don't hide me status. Because, frankly speaking, it might look easy. Najma, it might look easy, but it is not easy. Because neighbors will keep on insulting you. In fact, small children will shout, the autistic family next door. So all these have psychological impact, particularly on the mothers. So for you to get the courage to come out and say, I have a child who is physically disabled or who is autistic is not very easy, but it's a step I fully agree we must take together. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an easy thing to have a child who is challenged. I used to think, Harun, when he was the chairman of NONDO, the Northern Disabilities Organization, he used to tell me the line between being disabled and abled is just a thin line. It's less than a second of an event to take you to the other side. I had not known what he meant until now. Myself now, I'm also a victim because I have a child also who needs a lot of support. So what are these challenges? It is very costly. In fact, I'm very happy now you say that the NHIF is going to support parents who are having such kind of challenges. But educational costs, the cost of therapies, because every day we get a therapy into the house to support the child with the speech and occupational therapy. That costs at minimum, we negotiated, is 2,000 shillings. When you are done with that, these children are not accepted in any school. So when you take them to school, you are averaging 100,000 shillings and above. It's not enough. Most schools tell you they need a shadow teacher. So you have to hire somebody again to stand next to your child to be in the class. But over and above that, they have a lot of dietary challenges. They often get challenges in terms of healthcare and, additional gastronomical challenges. So it's quite a difficult process. So I am very happy today that we are here. I know we could organize an event. And one thing I want to say, it is very sad. It's very sad that the number of children, particularly with autism, has been on the increase in the last few years. This is a phenomenon we have not seen before. What it implies is that in the next 10 years, 15 years, unless God assists and they get out of that condition, we will have a huge number of people into their adulthood who will require support. So this is a huge challenge coming up. And inshallah, let's all hold our hands together and support each other and ensure that we support each and parent. Don't take it lightly. Most of these parents go through a lot of challenges. But above, in conclusion, I have come to learn my child who is autistic is also a very wonderful child. Is this reason when I come home, I get very excited. So they also bring happiness and they bring also excitement. So thank you so much. Looking forward to the panel and the other parts of the activity. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Brother Simba Gulet, for the encouragement. Next, I want to invite Member of Parliament for Garissa Township, Honorable Major. Please, let's clap for Mheshimiwa. He's the only Mheshimiwa who is with us, so we really appreciate his time and his support always. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Distinguished guests who are here with us, more importantly, Abdullahi and Najma, Mzee Harun, Simba Gulet, Professor Omar, Ambassador Rukia, and all those who have not mentioned. I want to take this opportunity also to appreciate the fact that I was also invited to this event by the organizers. And Najma for making all these efforts. Najma is the organizer of the event. Not only is she a participant, she is also an organizer of the event, a major organizer. I was inducted to this initiative by a group of many young people who are here. Mohammed Dagane, Mr. Daoud, who is not here with us, a friend of mine, and many others who invited me for lunch one day. The topic of discussion was this issue. And I took it as a good initiative, and that is why I have said I will be with them and support them all the time, inshallah, on this program they have launched of Don't Hide Me movement. Don't Hide Me is a very good name itself. We, the communities here, Somali especially, we hide our people with special needs, our kids with special needs. There is a lot of stigma associated not only with the child, but even the family itself. And have been said by me, the cost of maintaining and keeping these kids with special needs is beyond our reach. So for those who took their time and energy and effort as parents who've stood with their kids, today the movement that says, Don't Hide Me is a very important movement. God has not hidden that child. There is no reason for us as parents why we should hide a child. During the manufacturing process, if you manufacture something and you don't find it fit or it does not meet the standards you wanted, there is an option of removing it from the market or of option of not releasing it into the market. So but the fact that God himself in his wisdom said, I will not hide, because the choice God had, if he has seen it that this is not what he wanted to produce or create, what the option was is for him to eliminate it immediately or later on. But God has seen in his wisdom that we should have this child grow into good, like Abdullah here. There are people who are able, and I'm sure I cannot recite the ayah Abdullah has recited today. And all this effort goes or came as a result of the effort that Mama Najma has put towards this kid. So for me, I want to assure the movement here, the organizers, that I will always stand with them on this issue. I have just launched in my constituency an NHF cover, and I promised this team that I will also cover young people, because my cover was for 60 people and above of age. But I'm going to include all those who have special needs and their parents, so that they can be able to access medical facilities. We lack infrastructure as a community, as a country, for people with special needs. Fortunately for me, where I come from, my constituency, we have a school for special needs, and we have school for the disabled. So it is for me, as a member of parliament for Garissa, to improve the facility that is there, that have been put in by the government. And again, the technical, because that is another big, it is also a very expensive thing. We do not have enough trained personnel to take care of the needs of these people, to understand their situation, and to support not only them, but the parents of these children. So inshallah, I promise that as a leader of the community, I will facilitate, especially with my constituency, to see to it that, and I will hope, inshallah, time, we will hold this kind of event in my constituency, and I will support it. God willing, I will support that event so that they can bring out, they can encourage the parents, they can encourage the society, so that they can learn to live with those kids with the special needs. There is nothing wrong with God's creation. Let it be clear. There is nothing wrong with God's creation. If you feel God's creation is wrong, then you have no faith, you are not a Muslim, and you are not among us. So let us respect God's creation. Let's support these families who have these disabilities. You know very well it is an expensive venture. You know it's a very expensive thing to do for these kids. We have all been told by the experts, Mr. Harun have told us how expensive it is to maintain a child with disability. And I'm happy that today we have a number of parents who have come out and say, I have a child with a special needs that needs to be brought out. One of them is Mr. Gulait Simba, who have also told us here the situation he is. And there are many we also know. So inshallah, if this thing comes out every now and then, if it is discussed, if we have a conversation about the situation our people are facing, and I'm sure acceptance will increase. Somalia hadanahay, danaf Somalia waxyar ku hadlo, waan ognahay. Somalia ummadda daanay. Ilmaha dhibaatadan kanoo qabaan, magacyo fara badan baan ugu yeernaa, waxaan aad arkaysiin waa uun Ilaahi. Ilaahay xikmadiisay ku imaatay. Marka waxaan rabnaa inaan intan bannaanka soo saarno, nin walba uu ka hadlo, dhibaatada uu qabo. There is also economy of scale, what is called. If we all bring out these kids together, and even the cost of maintaining them is going to be cheaper. If you bring 3-4 kids into a hall, then you employ 2 teachers, it will be expensive. But if you bring hundreds of them, then the cost of maintaining that child will be. So please bring out God's creation, and we will support as society, as a community. I want everyone who is here, whether affected or not affected, please contribute to this group. They are doing it for free. There is no one who is here who is making an income out of this movement. If you can chip in and support them so that they can go to all our communities and bring out those children, itakuwa mzuri. Somali, Harun, Somali waad garan. Waxooda waa af xumo iyo af lagaade iyo af kale. inaan isku samrana way fiicanta Soomaali waxay dhahaa jiis janna ma galo soo ma qajin saasay dhihi jirtay marka that is the level they have gone that is the level they have Somali ay tagtay yani nin jiis janna ma galo I don't know for whatever reason so hadalkan uma sii dheereynay we have a lot of people coming to talk and giving us this we will be with you and we will support you we will stand with you inshallah once again let us congratulate Najma for coming out. Please let's congratulate Najma for coming out. She has come out. She has brought us outside from our hideouts. She has brought us from our hideouts. Let us congratulate her and thank her. May this be a reason for those who are taking care of young kids with such needs and special needs. May it be a reason for them to go to Jannah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, let's clap for Mheshimiwa Major Dero. Mheshimiwa Major Dero, we really appreciate you and your passion for the children with the special needs. And as Mheshimiwa said, inshallah, our next event, we'll do it in Garissa. And Mheshimiwa has assured us that he will take care of the event. We really appreciate Mheshimiwa Dero. But before I proceed, the next, I want the panel to prepare themselves. The panel, Fatma and your team, please. The panel should come. But before that, my friend Harun said that he wants to react to Major Dero, the issue of Jesus Janamagala. But no Sheikh Harun.
Just in less than 1 minute. Warun Mheshimiwa wanasema Jesus Janamagala. What it means, was wrong interpretation. Dadka dalaso kaxantono kiin doola inda wala furisomo. Kio lolan logo loto sini. Sasa ka wata. Mogi is not that you have a disability you go to hell. يعني قف كستبوا والسميدونا معنا. That's the right interpretation. Thank you.
So please, the panelists, I will now hand over the microphone to my sister Fatma. She will moderate the next session for the next 30 minutes only. So please, we have lunch. Don't leave. We have lunch coming up. We have a very important announcement coming up, and we have declaration. After all this meeting, we need to have a document. We all agree that don't hide me should continue. So please, don't leave. The conversation will continue on the other side.
Dr. Mohammed, please join us. Mr. Wilfred Amalemba. Okay, thank you. Okay.
1, 2.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm hoping that this next moderation will not be interrupted, inshallah. I would also like to inform Mr. Harun Hassan will be requiring you for the panel discussion. So kindly join us, inshallah. The framework of our discussion today is in line with the theme of this event, which is to raise awareness on developmental disabilities in children and to dispel the myths and misconceptions. So to help us understand this topic, we have a whole panel of knowledgeable experts with us and parent representatives. So within the shortest time possible, please introduce yourselves from Dr. Mohammed.
Can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good afternoon to all of you. My name is Dr. Mohammed Alavi. Yes, okay. In case you don't hear me, just let me know. I will increase my volume. I'm a general pediatrician, and I've been practicing pediatrics, which is looking after the little ones for the last more than 20 years. I come from private sector. So I'm in private practice. And right now I'm situated in South Sea, just opposite Al Jazeera Apartments. There is a small hospital called City Star. So that's where I'm based, and I'm practicing my pediatrics there. I think we are all here to support your effort, and especially this problem which has been covered for a very long time. So I'll not take much more time. I will hand over now back to the moderator to continue with the introductions.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdishakul Chimoli, and I'm a speech and language therapist. I work with Boeing Healthcare, and she's my manager over there. This is my colleague, but she will introduce herself. We are located in Kilimani along Menlik Road, and to know more about us, you can reach out, and about me too.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barbara Okumu, and I'm an occupational therapist at Boeing Healthcare.
Good afternoon. I'm Wilfred Amalemba. I am a parent of a child who's 22 years old, who has multiple disabilities. Rehema was born with cerebral palsy. She's also autistic. She has no speech. She's not able to speak. And she has intellectual disability as well. I also work with an organization called Overcomers by Grace that has its center here in South Sea Highway Estate, where we offer services for families with children with disability. My experience as a parent is motivated by just one thing. I look at Rehema and I ask myself, if I was Rehema, what would I have wanted my father to do for me? And I take care of Rehema because of that.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David. I am an ABA therapist working with Special Needs Center here in South Sea. And I hope we will have a good engagement. Thank you.
Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ssaid Abdullah. I am a special and inclusive education expert, and I have worked in the field of education for over 25 years as someone who has overcome severe dyslexia, as well as becoming an assessor to assess educational ability for children with disabilities. And in the last 5 years, I worked in Somalia to change the pragmatic of disability discrimination and change policy. And now I focus on changing the inclusive education phenomena in East Africa. And I'm here to include whatever knowledge that I have and impart with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ssaid. And last but not least, we have Mr. Hassan Harun, who is the chairman for National Council for Persons with Disability. So we'll give him a chance to introduce himself as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I might not come their podium, but I will contribute from here.
That's
My
okay.
name is Harun Ma'alim Hassan. I have to, lazim nitaje Ma'alim.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's a hard title, isn't it? My dad is a Quran teacher, Harun Ma'alim Hassan, currently the Executive Director, National Council for Persons
All
with
right.
Disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. We're looking forward to a fruitful deliberation. So we'll get started on the discussions of the day. And my first question is going to go to Mr. David Cheriot. kindly give us an insight on your understanding of development? What is development?
Okay. Development essentially means the changes that happens in human being when they are born, as they develop across the spectrum until they are adults. That is between 0 to adolescent. These changes include emotional, biologic, cognitive, and emotional. I also want to insist that when we talk about development, we are talking about the skills that children learn. For instance, when a child is born, naturally, he knows how to suck. He knows how to drink milk from the mother's breast. Nobody teaches. That is primitive reflexes. But eventually, this child needs to know how to eat food, how to be able to hold pen, how to be able to talk, how to be able to walk. This all becomes development. And when we look at a child, we look at him across the milestones. For instance, a mother will tell you, my child now is able to sit, my child is crawling, my child is walking, my child is talking. All these are components of development. Sometimes we only think, and parents always think, that development means the growth of a child. So we are interested in our child growing big. And many mothers want their children to grow big, isn't it? Not even big as such, they want to grow fat. I'm sorry to say the word fat. So we want our children to be plump, big. But we also need to ask ourselves, are these children able to walk? Are they able to learn appropriate skills required of a child? So there are skills that are required for a child at a given time.
Wow, thank you so much. I can see Ssaid is really nodding her head. Maybe she can briefly give us her overview of the understanding of development as well. I just wanted you to have an input on the same topic that he has tackled, and that is your understanding of development, because I noticed you're nodding your head a lot.
Thank you so much. A lot of people, as my colleague has mentioned, developmental means child just growing and looking with their sibling. So a lot of the time we miss out key milestones. So when we look at milestones, we normally check Piaget's theory, so that every child, the minute they conceive, so development starts the child the minute is conceived. Throughout the 9 months in the womb, the child is growing stage by stage, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already informed us the process of development during the womb. And when the child is born, the first thing that they do is communicate, and because they cry. And that is when we know the child is okay and they develop it. It's not, then a lot of the time you see the doctors, and we have a doctor here, that the doctors become panicky because the child has not communicated that they are okay. So it's really important that the parents, so I will come from the perspective of the parents, to have a knowledge of what is the different milestones. So the child, the first month, they need to have an element of how they can communicate their needs, they can cry, they can look at the child, and there's steps that they take. And that's why we, a lot of the time, encourage parents to go through the developmental milestones through the doctors or the MCH, so that the parents understand if there's a delay. By the time the child is 5 years old, they should be acquiring over 2,000 words. And a lot of the time, if the child does not start the communication from such a young age, we miss out. So my colleague communicates that there's 4 areas that we focus. We focus on the physical development when the child is growing, so that they're taking their steps according to their age. So if there is, the child has not sat down within the milestone, the parents should be worried. And normally at the age of 4, 5 months, the child sit down and they kind of try to bend. So we need to worry if we don't have that. And then the steps go on. Another is communication, as I have mentioned, when the child is born, first thing that they do, they communicate. Again, another milestone is, as my brother said, is emotional attachment. Children need attachment from birth or even prior to birth up to the age of 5. If the children don't get that secure attachment, later on their development delays because of anxiety, because of not being able to have that connection. So that's why if the parents die at the birth, one person has to be assigned to the child so that they get that secure attachment as a caregiver. And now we will continue to the discussion, but there's a lot of steps that we really need to make sure before the child turns 5 that we need to keep an eye on their development so that they grow as a healthy child. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My next question is to our Daktari. What do you think is the diversion? What is the cause of this diversion from typical development?
And that is the million-dollar question. We are seeing more and more of these developmental problems coming into society, and some of this is obviously related to genetic, biologic, and environmental influence. So if we look at, for example, birth, the act of having a child, nowadays more and more babies that are, let's say, like premature, they are surviving, or other children who get infectious diseases during their early childhood, and also nutritional problems. These are all increasing the frequency and causing more and more numbers of children with disability. I don't know if I've covered adequately your answer, but we can continue discussion on that.
Yes, that's okay. I think maybe Shakur can also add on that.
So from what you heard from our pediatrician on the panel, it's not so much different from what I will say, but I'll continue to speak more about what he just said, and to add on that is that he highlighted things like nutrition, and then the overall birth, and then pregnancy. So what you go throughout this whole process is what actually mainly determines what the child will be like in terms of the development, like the previous speakers were trying to highlight. And then what you'll see is much more predetermined actually during those times. And then those play the biggest roles with what you'll see. But what we'll see afterwards is not something that ideally should be termed as disability or something like that, because these diversions are always there in life. And then I heard one of the speakers was saying that these are God's callings, so do not take it in that way, but rather embrace it. I think I should hand over to Ms. Fatma for something else.
I think you've covered it very well. So, Barbara, my question to you is, do you feel that limited awareness is a barrier to proper care and management?
Yes, I do feel like limited awareness is a very big barrier to the care and management of children with different kinds of developmental disabilities. And this limited awareness that we're talking about, we can look at it from different dimensions. The first being public sensitivity to the existence of these functional impairments, and also professional awareness. So I'll start with the public I'll start with the public sensitivity bit. There's a lot of information out there around different kinds of disabilities and different kinds of functional impairments. But unfortunately, most or some of that information is wrong. So that is where we find a situation where, because there's so much wrong information, people are clinging on to things, or things that are myths and misconceptions that bring about a lot of shame, that bring about a lot of mental anguish to the parents of children with developmental impairments or disabilities. And they end up now hiding their children, not because they don't want to seek solutions, but because they have not been informed of the right channels to seek these solutions. They have not been informed of the right or the facts around the impairments that these children have or the disabilities that we see in these children. So if we had, it's our responsibility, first of all, as healthcare professionals and educators to make sure that the right information is reaching every part of the country to avoid the situation where now people are clinging on to myths and misconceptions, which will limit, the ability of these children to actually access society. So if we have enough information, enough right information out there, then we'll have more people seeking help. We'll have more people going to doctors, going to therapists, going to educators to get answers around, around these functional impairments, which brings me to the next dimension of limited awareness. The professional bodies that are responsible for advocating and are responsible for providing care and management to these children and their families. We find a situation in this country where we don't know enough about each other. We don't know enough about the roles that we play as individuals in the health profession. We don't know, we are part of a team that is supposed to care for these children and that is supposed to provide appropriate support for their families. But we find a situation where, for example, a speech therapist doesn't know the role of an occupational therapist. An occupational therapist doesn't know the role of an assessor or an educator in special needs. So we as a professional body, we as people who have been tasked with this responsibility to actually advocate and support parents, we need to learn about each other. We need to learn about the different roles that we play and what we can do as a cohesive unit to support children and parents in taking care of their kids and also taking care of themselves as a family unit. So we have two dimensions there. One, public sensitivity, and two, professional awareness that will allow us to work as a multidisciplinary team to care for the children.
Thank you so much. That was quite insightful. So my next question to you, Mr. Winfred, is regarding these gaps. What is bringing about these gaps in all sectors?
I think from a parent's perspective, when you know what you are dealing with, but you do not know where to turn to, it becomes a big problem. Sometimes you see there is a problem with a child and you want to get information, but the health services are not able to give that information adequately where you are living. Many of us live in the villages. The nearest health center that can give you adequate information is from your home, not very near. And if you get there, you might find some of the health professionals there may not have the resources that they need to do an investigation and be able to tell you this is what you're dealing with. And then when you are told what you are dealing with, you don't have adequate resources. You don't have the money, it's expensive, the professionals are not there. The person who's living in Nairobi might be able to get some of these services, but the person living in Lodwar will have a hard time getting a speech therapist, getting an occupational therapist, getting information about appropriate nutrition. Our case with Rehema, we needed to change her diet. And that was after reading a newspaper article. The doctors that we were talking to could not even tell us that diet might be an issue that is complicating her development and that she needed to change some of the foods that she was eating. We got that information from a newspaper article. How many of our citizens in this country, first of all, can afford a newspaper or even can access a newspaper? So some of those gaps have to do with inaccessibility. I cannot get information. I cannot get to the facility that can give me this information. There is no equipment to help me with that, to deal with that issue. So it's a big challenge for our country. We are improving day by day. There are more, I've noticed that in most of our level 4 hospitals, we have rehabilitation services that are available. And so we have been making good progress on that, but there's still more that has to be done.
Thank you so much for that. So now that we've established that there is a gap and barrier, what can be done? Perhaps our chairman can answer that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I have to say this is very important. For you to benefit from any government programs, first you have to be legally, register as someone with disability. And I urge all the parents who are here to register their kids with National Council for Persons with Disability. This process, the money requires cumbersome sana. Right now, we have introduced it on e-citizen platform. So you can register your child on e-citizen platform using your own account actually. And you only need the birth certificate, a passport size, and a medical assessment report, which is a primary document. And the medical assessment report can be assessed in any level 4 and level 3 hospitals. Here in Nairobi, in Bagadi, Mama Lucy, National Spinal Injury Hospital, Nyata, Madare, they do the assessment. So I urge you, zamani ulikuwa unatafuta, unaenda afya house, corruption ilikuwa, a lot of problems. Now it is right on your palm. Unatumia simu yako, you need internet connectivity. So to answer your question, addressing the barrier is the responsibility of all of us. But by law, I think there are a lot of engagement that are going on, including approval of the buildings, not to be approved if it is not accessible, including if there is forums like this, even in national television, we must have sign language interpreters. There are so many ways of addressing the barriers depending on different form of disability. But if you contextualize to the conversation of today, which is autistic and RDD, is about access to healthcare, the drug. I saw a mother another time, she visited me in the hospital, she told me, Harun, I natumia taxi 2,000 to come from Kayole and pay for therapy 500 shillings. Taxi is very expensive than even the therapy. And sometimes some parents even can't afford that. That's why we have gone to address that issue of how we can make an enhanced cover. So by hopefully April, May, all the parents now start registering your kids. You will not only enjoy the general cover, but an enhanced cover for drugs, for therapy, for speech, including even speech therapy, by the way. It will be covered under there. Those are part of it. I don't know whether I am offside or answering your question, but those are some of the things that as a government we are trying to do to ensure that all forms of disability access opportunity uniformly and equally. And then finally, I think I have to say also this. I mentioned education when I was there, that those kids who are finished standard 8 right now, we will be giving them full scholarship, full, from Form 1 to Form 4. So we have already put an advert. So please apply. It is full scholarship. And we have also made a consideration for parents with disabilities, at least 2 per county. So if you are a parent and you have a disability and you have a child, we will also give your child a full scholarship. Those are the things that we have rolled out. So the deadline is around.
The question is, how can we ensure a collaborative intersectoral involvement in the care and management?
Okay, so we can start by first looking at the sectors that are involved in the care and management of children with disabilities. We have the health sector, we have the education sector, and then we have the policy makers. First things first, we have, like I was saying previously, we need to put out information out there, the right kind of information out there. We need to encourage awareness of the existence of these disabilities and the challenges that they come with. The other thing is that we need to increase awareness around the services available that support the care and management of these various disabilities and these various functional challenges. So how will we ensure that we collaborate together? We'll ensure that we collaborate together for, first of all, we need to learn each other. We need to learn like the role that each of us play in the care and management. We need to learn the role of rehab, occupational therapists, speech therapists, physiotherapists in the care and management of the different conditions and the different challenges. We need to learn the roles of educators, the roles that parents can play, and we need to stop also creating a situation or an environment where parents and caregivers are an audience or spectators to the process of the care and management of the children. So my main point there is that we need to learn each other in terms of like the different sectors. We need to learn the roles that we each play, and we need to execute them diligently and with integrity. The other thing is that one thing that we see in therapy, in our work, myself and Mr. Shakur, is most of the kids that come to our center for services, they come when they're really young. When they're 3 years old, 2 years old, most of them have autism. So myself and Shakur, we work with the child. We give the child the skills and the tools that they need to be able to, our goal is for this child to be able to go into the world and function, appropriately or function independently. But where is the next step? Like while they're doing therapy or after, we're done with therapy, where are they going next? They're going into school next. If they go into a school, the school needs also to be aware of the functional limitations of this child and the supports that this child needs. The school should also be equipped by the therapist to support this child's learning. That can be, when it comes to communication, that can be, the school adopting the use of visual aids. When it comes to, the sensory processing issues that children with autism have, that could be, informing or educating the school on how to set up a sensory-friendly classroom that will allow this child with autism to actually participate and engage and actually learn. That could be, giving the school strategies on how to facilitate learning. So you see that these two sectors do not function in isolation, as we see right now. Therapy and education and, the government, the policies, we are all one unit, and our responsibility is to ensure that this child is able to function independently in society. I'll just finish with this. The social model of disability describes disability as an experience. It describes disability as an experience of not being able to take part in society due to the functional impairments that the child or the person might have. We see that most times the disability is not due to the functional impairment that this person or this child has, but it's more of, like the society building a wall between the child and participation. So it is our job as the different sectors involved to alleviate this disability, to make society accessible to the children and people with disabilities and their families. So, yeah.
In the interest of time, maybe I can ask Mr. Winfred to add on that.
I think in terms of getting the multi-sectoral partnerships, the main thing is everyone needs to accept that disability is a reality. And once we accept that disability is a reality and people with disability are part of our society, then we'll be able to work together to ensure that at whatever level, in whatever place, whether we are talking about the ministries or in our communities, in our religious facilities, in our hospitals, everything is going to be designed in such a way as to make sure that people with disability are given equal opportunities, are accepted as equal members of the society, and are allowed to participate and make valuable contribution like everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that wraps up our discussion, panel discussion for today. But all is not lost. All our parents who have taken time to join us today, we are going to be having one-on-one consultations with our expertise who are available at the premises. So don't feel like all is lost. We are here for the rest of the afternoon as well to answer all the questions. So come visit us at the tents for that. Thank you so much. I'll hand over the mic to Mr. Abdinur.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's do a clap for Fatima for the wonderful job. So please, you can now exit the stage. There's another event coming up. So I really appreciate your time. Okay, thank you very much. So there's a very important session coming up, which is a declaration. The things we discuss and the way forward is what we're going to read shortly. And by then, I will request our guest, the Member of Parliament, Simba Gulet, and also Harun, and the rest of the team. Few of us will come in the front, and then Ma'alin Dayo will read the declaration, and Mheshimiwa Dayo, Mheshimiwa Dego, and the rest will also add something. But before you come, I think I want to give 2 minutes to Abdullah's brother. He has a brief. Yes, Abdullah, I've said hi. Abdullah's brother, I want to give him 2 minutes. He has prepared a small speech. So come in front. Abdullah's brother, he has written some speech. So Uncle, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Umar and I'm the younger brother of Abdullahi. I'm here to talk to you about the situation in Somali households and the treatment of special need children in these homes and why it's completely wrong and what it does to the child. First of all, Islam emphasizes compassion, justice, and the importance of caring for vulnerable members of society, including individuals with disabilities. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ exhibited kindness towards individuals with disabilities and emphasized their inclusion in the society. The idea of hiding such children stems from cultural misconceptions rather than religious principles. It is important to distinguish between these cultural practices and genuine Islamic teachings. Yes, culture strengthens one's deen, but some cultural teachings completely stray from genuine Islamic practices. Why can't we promote a more inclusive and compassionate environment for all individuals irrespective of their abilities? Concealing and neglecting a child with disabilities is fundamentally inappropriate. This impacts the child by depriving them of an opportunity to integrate into social circles, acquire knowledge, and showcase their unique skills and qualities. Every individual, regardless of their abilities, merits the chance to be part of the community and to be acknowledged. The act of seclusion shows the child a message that they are not valued. It is so important to remove such a notion and ensure that each child is given the opportunity to flourish and express their remarkable attributes. Let's do our part in helping these families realize their child's ability and not their inabilities. Let us be inspired by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's kindness towards individuals with disabilities. Let us break free from cultural misconceptions. let us spread this word. Don't hang him or her, they or them, don't hang me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah's younger brother. So, before we do the declaration, for 2 minutes, we have been talking about the special children, the special. There are some who their parents came with. So, I'll be requesting Najma and Fartoon to bring the children to the podium. There is a dance, there is a song for them. So, for 2 minutes, let's give them that time, please. They will be coming to the stage, and later we will make the declaration. So DJ, iyo danto ikuje.
darbiyada fadhiyo waliba dib jiro dabka shidan karayn wadan guud ee daryeel ummad yahay daryeel waa dhaanto dadaan culus oo baaq lagu daray madaxa dalka inay u damqadaan dadka baahiyaha gaarka la ildaran iyo daayirta darbiyada ku dayacan ereyada abwaan geesood musiga cadiyeed cabda iyo cod qabashada cali bulshaawi laxanka iyo codkana waxaa isku maleexid
darufaha la nool guud ee daryeel dawlad yahay daryeel tuhuriyo daraarin dolaha sado nurka laga dado darufaha la nool wadan guud ee daryeel dawlad yahay daryeel xuryamadan dalko darbiyada fadhiyo oo waliba dib jira dabka shiidan karin wadan guud ee daryeel dawlad yahay daryeel xuryamadan dalko darbiyada fadhiyo oo waliba dib jira dabka shiidan karin wadan guud ee daryeel dawlad yahay daryeel muslimaan oo diinta lagu dhalay dumarkiiyo ilmaha ina raago xaq dhowr dabadiyo dalkaba ina raago xaq dhowr naafadana daryeel way dayacan tahay naafadana daryeel way dayacan tahay muslimaan oo diinta lagu dhalay dumarkiiyo ilmaha ina raago xaq dhowr dabadiyo dalkaba ina raago xaq dhowr naafadana daryeel way dayacan tahay naafadana daryeel way dayacan tahay qurbaha kuwa lagu dilo tircaduhun dabro ka disadayma wadan guud ee u dood dawlad yahay u dood.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's clap for our children, please. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So let's clap for them again. MashaAllah. That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
dadka dhimir kaloo darbiyada dhaxyal ama lagu dayaaci looga tagay xabiib wadan guud ee daryeel dawlad yahay daryeel dadka dhimir kaloo darbiyada dhaxyal
DJ Kidogo. So we will be doing a declaration. We will do a declaration. We will do a declaration. The declaration will be read by Dr. Mohammed Abdinur Dayo. I want the rest of the team, the stakeholders, Ambassador Kuja Karibu. Let's be gender sensitive. Fatma Kuja, join this group. Yes, very good. Now, where's Najma? Najma, come here. You want to make a statement. So, very, very important statement that you want to make. I think the rest can come here. Mnaweza kuja nyuma hapa nyuma. Alibash. Come this side. Fatma, come this side. Yes. Panda juu. Some of the kids here. Yeah. Najma, come. So I think we are ready. Najma, please join. You want to make a declaration? Just go in front. Just go there. So we can now proceed. Malimu, go ahead.
Bismillah. On the 16th of December 2023 in Nairobi, Kenya, the CID headquarters, we are doing our first declaration with regards to empowerment of children with development disabilities. We, the organizers, partners, political leaders, technical stakeholders, and all distinguished participants of the Don't Hide Me event that took place today of the 16th of December 2003 at the CID Training School, being the first extraordinary event aimed at creating awareness on children living with development disabilities. Cognizant of the numerous challenges impeding the growth and the development of children with development disabilities, recognizing the immense pain and suffering of parents who bring up children born with development conditions, and importance of fostering an inclusive and supportive environment for children with development disorders, deeply concerned about the stigma, discrimination, and the lack of support and opportunities for these children and their parents, appreciative of the existence of opportunities and possibilities of extending a helping hand to address the plight of these children. Number one, call on our government to prioritize and empower children living with development disabilities by allocating resources for specialized education institutions and social infrastructure, influencing policy changes to ensure inclusivity in mainstream education systems. Two, advocate for improved healthcare services for children with development disorders, including accessible and affordable healthcare, specialized training for healthcare professionals, social support to parents and caregivers of children with development disorders. Three, call upon religious leaders and community leaders to integrate the needs of children with development disorders into their congregation by, one, promoting awareness and understanding among society, creating inclusive spaces within religious institutions. This includes churches and mosques and community gatherings. Number four, we commit to organizing the Don't Hide Me awareness creation event annually in Nairobi as a platform to share knowledge and experience, create awareness, encourage collaboration and support networks, monitor progress and address emerging challenges. Five, we resolve to cascade the Don't Hide Me initiative to all the 47 counties so as to ensure that the local communities are actively involved in the initiative. This includes tailoring interventions to meet specific needs, establishing local advocacy groups, working with county assemblies to provide legislative frameworks that are necessary. Six, we encourage collaboration among all stakeholders, NGOs and private sector and entities so that we can pool resources and expertise, establish sustainable initiatives that promote long-term support. Last but not the least, we commit to establishing a comprehensive framework to track the progress of the Don't Hide Me initiative, ensuring accountability and effective use of resources. In the witness thereof, with all the leaders and the members here, we append our signatures on this declaration, pledging our commitment to the well-being and the empowerment of our children with development disabilities. And thank you so much. I call upon Major Deko and my brother Simba Gulet and Harun to perhaps say one or two things regarding the declaration and their support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dayo. These are very comprehensive and very clear declarations, and I think they are taking into consideration very wide-reaching policy issues that, first of all, government needs to undertake and implement, including adopting the Disabilities Act to bring to the reality of the new challenges like children with autism and other forms of disorders that need to be addressed. So I think from where we sit, we need now to stand together, both as parents who are parents of children who are facing these challenges, and as a community to join hands and ensure that these declarations, and I hope that the organizers will organize this again, maybe at least annually or more frequently, so that we can continue discussing these issues. So thank you very much. Let me welcome Major Deko. Mheshimiwa, karibu.
Thank you very much. We are gathered here this afternoon to launch a new initiative, a new movement by the name Don't Hide Me. It is to create awareness and to create some conversation around people with special needs, especially children with special needs. So for me is to congratulate the organizers of this event for coming up with this good initiative, have our support as leaders of the community, and we have agreed with them that this will be held annually and across the 47 counties. This was the first launch, and we hope, inshallah, this will go into all the 47 counties. As have been said, we want the government, inshallah, to come on board and of treating or maintaining with these children needs is quite high and out of reach for the parents. So our event today was to create that awareness that people with special needs need to come be brought out, need not to be hidden in the homes, in the houses. They should enjoy all the necessary rights that they're entitled to, like health care, like education, like all that a child will require and need. Therefore, we are in support of the movement, and inshallah, this will go a long way in bringing out the situation these young children are in. It will end the stigma associated with children with special needs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. We gathered here today, and you have heard what our colleagues and doctors and the experts were talking about children with special need. We support the declaration, and after declaration, we need to have a government policy in place where these institutions are funded properly, and also the parents' awareness. It's not only Nairobi. We are thankful for the NGO to also take these issues of families hiding children with disability or children with special need at home, especially our community. I'm sure there are many also in this city and outside the city who really needs a lot of awareness on these issues, especially the ladies. The mothers go through a lot of pain to bring up these children. We know the girl child who is with a special need needs more than a young man who is also in a special need. You know that girls, when they reach 14 to 15, they get their menses, and if the family are poor, they cannot even afford sanitary pad. Is really a big problem. So with me and the rest who are here today, we really support this declaration, not only to the government, to also the parents and the families should support children living with disabilities and special needs. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A lot has been said and done. Alhamdulillah, we have so many stakeholders here, so many supporters of the program, but we as community members, we also have a part to play. We can do so much. There is so much we can do. As a Muslim society, Somalis, we give a lot of sadaqah for masajid, a lot of sadaqah for bohol, a lot of sadaqah for sick people, but it's very rare to see sadaqah being given to support institutions of special need. So please, let us kindly include this in our sadaqah. Inshallah, let's support these people. Let us be there for them. Government institutions, we are here for them. As parents, as daughters, as supporters, we are here for you guys. So inshallah, we are very much accessible, and we hope this is the beginning of the 1,000 miles, and we hope to launch this program in so many other counties and so many other places. And inshallah, bidnillah, with the support of all the stakeholders, this event is going to be successful. Shukran.
Thank you so much. Mine just in 1 minute. The resolution we have reached today, I assure you, Malim and the organizers, the reform that is ongoing in the country, it will going to be part of it, and we're going to submit your memorandum to the relevant agencies who are pushing reform around health, around education, around matters rehabilitation. Right now, Disability Act 2003 is undergoing amendment to conform with the current constitution and also Convention on the Right of Persons with Disabilities. Right at its heart is issue of rehabilitation, issue of habilitation, issues of health care, and then also issues of other support to persons with disabilities. So this is quite amazing, and we look forward to another meeting next year around this time to take stock of how far we've come and what we have achieved. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. Waan naga dhamaatay. Laakiin waxaa lidin sheegaa waalidiinta, the experts are all here. Don't go. You have to meet them, ask all the questions that you have, and they're here until 3 p.m. Sheikh Mohammed Addo, no du'a.
الحمد لله والثناء لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل